Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Learn How to Sudoku, where we take a very easy variant Sudoku puzzle and we break it down in detail so that you can learn how to Sudoku. Today's very easy puzzle is called Sudoku, Volume 3 by Doc Logic. And here are the rules. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, which means in every cell in the grid, place a single digit from 1 through 9, such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or designated 9-cell region, which is a box in this case. We have thermometers, where digits increase starting from the bulb. So as an example, to go from here to here, let's go from here to here. We can have something like 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. And this would be valid as a thermometer because it's increasing from the bulb to the tip. What you could not have is something like, say, 1, 3, 4, 7, 7, because it's not increasing from this 7 to that 7 here, and that's not allowed. So that's an example of how thermometers work. We have German whisper lines, or as I like to call them, whisper 5 lines, where digits on each green line have a difference of at least 5 to their neighbors. So for example, if this were, say, a 3, this would have to be an 8 or a 9, because the only digits which are 5 or more away from 3 are specifically 8 and 9. And that's an example of how German whispers or whisper 5 lines work. We also finally have crop keys, where cells separated by a white dot are consecutive, and cells separated by a black dot have a ratio of 1 to 2. Not all possible dots are given. So, for example, if this were, say, a 6, this would have to be a 5 or a 7 to make sure that these digits are consecutive. And, for example, if this were, say, a 2, this would have to be a 1 or a 4 to maintain the 1 to 2 ratio between them, which is what signifies what the black dot between them signifies. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's learn how to Sudoku. Okay, first things first. There's a couple places that you could start. Let's go for ones that I guess aren't that conventional, which we don't run into necessarily. Here we have a set of 3 unique digits, all with there's a digit here which is in a 1 to 2 ratio with 2 other unique digits. So this has to be 2 or 4, because those are the only digits which can be in a 1 to 2 ratio with 2 other unique digits, right? So if this is 4, this would have to be a 2-8 pair. If this is 2, this would be a 1-4 pair. But this can't, or it could be 1, 1-4, 1-4. So what you are guaranteed, though, is one of these digits has to have a 2, won't be a 2, and one of these digits has to be a 4, right? Because you either have 1-2-4 or 2-4-8. Therefore, this 1 to 2 ratio can never contain a 2 or 4, so that eliminates 1-2, 2-4, 4-8 as possibilities, so this has to be a 3-6 pair here. That means in the rest of row 1, you cannot have 2, 4, or 3, 6. So you're guaranteed to have 1, 5, 7, 8, or 9 in the remaining digits in row 1. And this digit is obviously less than that, so this can't be 1. This is greater than this, so this can't be 1 either. And it has to be less than that, so this can't be 9. This can't be 5, so this is guaranteed to be 7, 8, or 9 here. And this is 5, 7, 8. This is consecutive with this, but if this was 1, that would force this to be 2, and therefore this would be a 1, 2, and then this 2 would force this to be a 1 here, and you'd have a duplicate 1 in this box. So that's not allowed. So this is not 1 either. So we're guaranteed 1 is either here, here, or here. Another thing that we don't really see pretty often is, well, I guess we see it fairly often depending on what the puzzle type, but in this specific case, it's kind of hidden. Either way, we know that in column 4, where can the 5 be? 5 can never be on a whisper 5 line or a German whisper line, because if you subtract 5 or more from 5, you get 0 or less, which is not a normal Sudoku digit. If you add 5 or more to 5, you get 10 or more, which is not a digit. So obviously none of these digits can be a 5. And 5 cannot be in a 1 to 2 ratio with another digit. If you have 5, you get 2.5. If you double 5, you get 10, neither of which are digits. So 5 cannot appear in any of these digits. Therefore, 5 has to be here. And since 5 is here, that eliminates 5 in the rest of the row. So this can't be 5. We have a 7, 8, 9 triplet, which eliminates 7, 8, and 9 in the rest of the row. So this can't be 8. This can't be 8. Therefore, this is 1, 2, and 4. And this must specifically be a 2 between 1 and 4. Okay. 7, 8, so this digit is less than that. So this can never be 7. We have a 7, 8, 9 triplet, which eliminates 7, 8, and 9 in the rest of the box. So this is 1 through 6. And this digit is consecutive with this. So this has to be 6, which makes this 7, which makes this 8, which makes that 9. So none of these are 6 because of the 6 in. To be consecutive with 7, 8, or 9, it has to be 6 here. This digit is less than that. This digit is greater than that. So this can't be 1 and this can't be 5 because of that. Let's see. 1 is only consecutive with 2. 4 is consecutive with 3 or 5, but because of the 3, 6 pair in this box, this cannot be 3, so that's 2 or 5 here. Okay. What else do we have? Let's go on this thermometer. So one thing I like to do with thermometers is go from the bulb, looking at the smallest possible digit in each cell, and then going all the way to the tip. And then going from the tip back to the bulb, looking at the largest possible digit in each cell. And then you are limiting those cells then with those constraints. So this digit could be 1, obviously, because if this is 1, that's the lowest digit in normal Sudoku. This digit is greater than that, so 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It cannot be 6 here, though, because of the 3, 6 pair in the box, so this has to be at least 7. The largest digit here is 9. This is less than that, so it's 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4. So to go so that means this cell can be 7, 8, 9. This cell can be 5, 7, 8, but can't be 3 and 6. This could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is guaranteed to be a low digit. Because of that, we know that this digit must be 1 through 5 to be consecutive with it, and 5, again, cannot appear on a whisper 5 line. So this must be a low digit. And on whisper 5 lines, you'll always alternate between low and high digits, because what digit can be next to a low digit, which we consider 1 through 4? 4 can be only next to 9, 3 can be next to 8 or 9, 2 can be next to 7, 8, or 9, and 1 can be next to 6 through 9, all of which are high digits. So next to a low digit, you'll always have a high digit. And you have the same for a high digit. High digit has to be next to a low digit, right? Because 6 can only be next to 1, 7 can be next to 1 or 2, 8 can be next to 1, 2, or 3, and 9 can be next to 1 through 4, which are all low digits. So therefore, this is low, which forces these two to be high, which forces these two to be low, which forces this to be high here. So this is a high digit here, which is next to a black Kropke dots. The only high digits which can be next to a black Kropke dot in normal Sudoku is 6 and 8. So this is guaranteed to be 6 or 8, which is next to 3, which is in a 1 to 2 ratio with 3 or 4. What else do we have? This digit is consecutive, cannot be 2, so it could be 1, 3, or 4 here. That means if 1 is here, 2 could be here, but 1 cannot be here, because if this is 1, that would force this to be a 2, and that's not possible. So this cannot be 1, which means this can't be 2, this can't be 3, no 4, no 5. So that means no 7 here because this is smaller than that. Okay. You cannot have 3 and 4 here as a pair. Because if you have 3 and 4 here, that would eliminate all possibilities for this cell. So anytime you have a 4 here, it's guaranteed to be next to a 3, so this can never be 4. This is 1 or 3, it must be next to a 2 here. Because 1 and 3 is only consecutive with 2. If we try to have 3 and 4 here, that would eliminate all possibilities for that cell. This 2 eliminates 2 here, so that's 5, which is consecutive with 4, which makes this a 1. So we have 1 and 2 here. That means the remaining digits in this this upper central box have to be 3 and 4 for the lows. This digit cannot be next to an 8. Or sorry, this digit can only be next to an 8 or less, so this cannot be 4, so this must be 3, which makes this 4 and 8. That makes this a 4, which can only be next to 9 on a Whisper 5 line. So this is 4 and 9 here, which means this can't be 9, that's 8, that's 7. This can't be 7. This can't be 4 or 5, so that's 3. This digit is less than that, so it cannot be 6. This 3 eliminates 3 here. This 4-5 pair eliminates 4 and 5 here. 3 can be next to 8 or 9 on a Whisper 5 line, and the 9 in the box means this can't be 9, so this is 8. The remaining digits in this upper central box have to be 6 and 7. The 7 eliminates possibility for that, so this is 6, that's 7. Okay. Remaining digits in this upper right-hand box are 1, 2, and 9. And this can't be 9, so this is 1 or 2. This is 1, 2, or 9. So if this were 2, that would force this to be 1, and that would eliminate all possibilities for this cell. So this cannot be 2. This is 4, 5. Let's go along this thermometer looking at the lowest possible digit. It has to be greater than 4, so this is at least 5, 6, and 7. This can't be 7 or 8, so this has to be 9. So this is guaranteed to be 9. This is less than that, so it can't be 8. This has to be at most a 7, at most a 6. We have a 5, 6, 5, 6 pair in row 4, which eliminates 5 and 6 in the rest of the row. This can't be 6, therefore it must be 7. This has to be 1 or 3, because that's the only digits remaining in row 4. And it cannot be 3 because of the 3 in the box. So this is 1, which makes this 3. Okay. This is low. So we have 1 high and 2 lows in column 4. Again, you alternate between sets of high and lows on a Whisper 5 line. So that means these sets are the same, and if they were an all low, that would not be possible because we would have 5 lows in column 4 when there are only 4 total low digits. So these must be high. These are all high digits, which forces all of these to be low digits. So this is a 1, 2 pair here. This is 1, 2 pair. This 1 eliminates 1 here, so this is 2. This is 1, that's 2. This is also a low and cannot be 1. So we have lows here, low here. These are low. These are high. And this is low. Okay, so we're using it mainly for the Whisper 5 line. Okay. Let's see. This is either 7 or 9. This is 7, 8, or this cannot be 8. Oh, this could be 6. Where is the 6 in column 4? It can only be next to 1 on a Whisper 5 line, so this is a 6, which means this is a 7, 9 pair here. This digit is next to 2 and 3 or 4 on a Whisper 5 line, so it cannot be 7. Therefore, this is 9, that's 7. This has to be a low here. There's 1 low and 1 high here, and the low has to be a 1. So the 1 is here. The rest of column 6 cannot have a low because we have 1, 2, 3 lows already, and this is the 4th. So they have to be 5 through 9. This can't be 7 or 9 because of 7 and 9 in the box. This can't be 6 or 8 because of 6 or 8 in the box. It can't be 9 because of a 9 in the column. Where's the 9 in the central box? It has to be here. This becomes a 5-7 pair, which eliminates 5 and 7 in the rest of the column. So this can't be 5. This becomes 1, 6, and 8 as possibilities. Okay. Remaining digits in column 5 have to be 3, 4, and 5. Okay. 4 or 5 is only consecutive with 3 through 6. But this cannot be 3 because of the 3 in the box. So this has to be 4, 5, or 6 is consecutive with. And we're guaranteed a 5 here because it is either 4, 5, or 5, 6. So this cannot be 5. This is 6, which makes this 5, which makes that 4. This can't be 4. This can't be 4. We have a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair in row 3, which eliminates 1 and 2 in the rest of the row. So this is 5. This has to be a 4, 5 pair here. That means the remaining digits in this right central box are 7, 8, and 9. Well, 7 and 9 cannot be next to a black Kropke dot. 7 and 9 halved are 3.5 and 4.5, which are not digits. If you double 7 and 9, you get 14 and 18, which are also not digits. So this has to be 8. And this is a 7 or 9. This is 7 or 9. 8 is in a 1 to 2 ratio with 4. So this is 4. We are guaranteed... Okay, this 9 eliminates 9 here, so it's 7 and 9. This 7 eliminates 7 here, so it's 5 and 7. 5 eliminates 5 here, so it's 4 and 5. The only two digits that could be in a 1 to 2 ratio now in row 5 are 1 and 2. Because 8 remaining can only be in a 1 to 2 ratio with 4, and that's already counted for in the row. So this becomes a 1, 2 pair, which makes this an 8. This 1, 2 pair in column 2 eliminates 1 and 2 in the rest of the column. So this can't be 1 or 2, it's 3. That forces this not to be 3 here. Okay. Remaining digits in row 6 are 3, 4, and 6, and these must be in ascending order. So this has to be 3, this is 4, and that's 6. This therefore forces this to be 2 and 1. So that's 2, this is 1. This must be greater than 6, and therefore must be 7, 8, and 9. So this is 7, 8, 9. 1 eliminates 1 here. So this cannot be 1. It's therefore a high digit. So this is guaranteed to be a 1 here. Therefore, this must be low, and the only low digit possible in column 7 now is a 1. So this is 1. This is high. This is low, and this is high. Well, we have a high digit here. This, it can only be 6 or 8, and if we had a 6 here, it would guarantee a 1 here, but we already have a 1 in the box. So this cannot be 6, this is 8. This cannot be 6 either because it's next to 2 unique digits on a Whisper 5 lines, and can't be 7, so this has to be 9. This can't be 1 or 9, so that's 2, which makes this 1, which makes that 9. 2 eliminates 2 here, so it's 1, which makes that 2, which makes that 1 and 2. Okay. This 6 eliminates 6 here, so it's 3 and 6. That forces this to be a 3 here. This 3 eliminates 3 here, so it's 4. This can't be 4. This can't be 4. Remaining digits in column 9 are 2 and 5. 2 can't be here because of the 2 in the row. So this is 5, this is 2. This 8 eliminates 8 here, so it's 6 and 8. That leaves this digit as a 7, this digit as a 6. This is in a 1 to 2 ratio. We're guaranteed a 3 here because of the only digit remaining in column 3. So this is 6. This 3 eliminates 3 here, so it's 5 and 3. That forces this to be 5 and this to be a 4. And that's a solution. Yeah, fairly straightforward. I use a lot of typical tricks that I normally do in these very easy Sudokus, and it works very well here. I tried to highlight a couple of things where it's slightly different, where you can sometimes see like little instances which can ameliorate, I would say, your solves, like this part and this part here. But overall, just using, basic strategies that I've highlighted before uh, in this series. Yeah, overall, pretty cool puzzle. Nice little puzzle, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Learn How to Sudoku. And I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.